So, guys, what is new with Harry and Meghan? Not I don't see a lot of updates, to be honest with you. I was watching Sussex Squad Family TV today because he's basically my main source of information about the Sussexes at this point, and he was talking about how the Montecito Journal, like this publication in Montecito, has waded into the UK tabloid-esque kinds of journalism against the Sussexes, and apparently they're prognosticating or suggesting that the Sussexes are getting a divorce or they're separated at a minimum. And so he's basically dispelling that rumor in his one of his latest videos. Some guy named Richard Miniards is a columnist with the Montecito Journal, apparently, and he has connections to the Daily Mail. And basically, he's over there in Montecito writing harassing hit pieces against the Sussexes. And Brian, of course, is just absolutely almost apoplectic about it. So what do I think about it? I mean, look, I think that Harry and Meghan are fine in their marriage. I think, ironically, the UK media is probably the best thing that ever happened to Harry and Meghan's marriage because couples have problems. I mean, this is normal, right? All couples have problems. And the honeymoon is usually over within 6 months into the relationship, right? You're already seeing each other in a less, shall I say, fantasy or fantastical way. And you're seeing each other in a more realistic way than you did at the beginning of the relationship when you were in the honeymoon phase and when each of you could basically walk on water and there were no blemishes, there were no imperfections. It was just you're so in love and everything is perfect. And then 6 months later, you're kind of looking at each other with more realistic eyes. You know, that's true for the majority of couples, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And when you get married, I mean, there's something called the 7 year itch. I don't know if the 7 year itch is a real thing anymore. Obviously, Harry and Meghan are not yet at the 7 year marriage mark, but I am sure behind the scenes, Harry and Meghan have, if not all the problems of normal couples, they certainly have their own couple problems because that's how it is with human couples, right? There are always going to be challenges in a relationship because when you bring two people together who now have to operate as one, it it's a challenge for most people. And Harry and Meghan are no different. The only thing that makes them different from others is that their relationship is playing out on a public scale for everybody to see. It's amplified by the fact that Harry is a member of the British royal family, the most popular royal family in the world. Popular probably isn't even the right adjective, but this is a royal family that everybody knows. It is certainly one that is very high profile, and it has been a very complicated transition for Meghan into the royal family for reasons we have discussed ad nauseum over the past 8 years. So everybody knows the story. Everyone knows the story. Harry and Meghan famously left the royal family. They moved to Montecito so that they can breathe, they can be their own bosses, they can have their own independent lives, and they don't have to answer to the monarchy or to the UK press. And so we all know that. Now, We also know that Harry has been ensconced in certain legal conflicts with the UK media, the UK press. He has sued them and he's holding them accountable for certain actions, conduct, behaviors that he deems inappropriate, even with the freedom of press laws that are currently in place in his country. Right? And so he has not endeared himself to the UK press as a consequence. In fact, one might even say that the owners of the press and the journalists who work for the owners of the various press in the UK are on a vendetta to bring Harry down as a consequence of his daring act to sue them and to hold them accountable. So, what have they done? They have, you know, waged, I think, a war on the Sussexes. They have tried everything in the book. They have said everything possible to, and written everything possible to humiliate, to intimidate, to harass, to basically steal all of the peace and the joy that the Sussexes could possibly manufacture for themselves in their Montecito enclave. And they have gotten all sorts of proxies to help them do it, whether it's the lawsuit to get Harry thrown out of the U.S. to get his visa revoked, whether it is people in Montecito like this man Richard, who is now writing hit pieces, whatever it takes. They have been trying their endeavor best to destroy Harry and Meghan's marriage, to destroy their peace, to harass them, to make them pariahs in the global society, and most importantly, to break up their marriage. If I haven't already said so. So my take on that, though, is that the UK media and even all these haters that sort of are aligned with the UK media are the best things that has ever and could ever have happened to Harry and Meghan's marriage, because while it's harassing and so on and so forth, what they're doing, they have now pushed Harry and Meghan closer and closer to each other in this alliance, this sort of unbreakable bond. They are in something together that only they are in together. Nobody else is in it with them to that extent. I mean, they are equally as hated. Well, they have, the UK media, to its credit, has lately been playing a different game where they're trying to send a message to Harry that, okay, you know what, we'll forgive you. We're done. We'll let you go if you break up with her and let us just go at her freely. If you just come on over to our side, we will forgive you. So far, Harry has not taken the bait. Hopefully, he never will. Let's wait and see what happens. But for the most part, I think Harry and Meghan both would have so much more to lose, not just in terms of their losing face, but just so much more to lose in terms of public perception, PR, etc., by breaking up, by not going the distance with this marriage. And they know it. Neither of them can afford to have this marriage fail. Neither of them can afford to have this marriage fail, because no matter what the UK press says to Harry about forgiving him, Harry knows at the end of the day that it's a lie, and that the minute he and Meghan break up, they will be mincemeat for the next 15 years for the UK media. They will never stop talking about the divorce. They would have won. The UK media would have won. And all of these years, these past 8 years of pain and suffering and what he and Meghan has gone through would have been all for nothing, because they would have fallen into the trap anyway. And I don't think either Harry or Meghan are willing to see it end in that way. And for that reason alone, no matter what normal couple problems they have, and I'm sure they have their problems because they are human and all humans have problems in relationships, right? That's just how it is. If you don't want problems in relationships, you do what I do. You live by yourself, right? Once you live with somebody else, and quite frankly, it doesn't even have to be a marriage. If you are in a household with just anyone else at all, whether it's a roommate, whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your grandmother, whether it's your tenant, whatever. I mean, as long as somebody else is in that space, you are going to have to make certain adjustments because that's just how it is. That's just how it is. You are no longer alone, right? You have to make certain adjustments. And Harry and Meghan are no different, right? Both of them, I am sure, have had to make adjustments in that relationship, right? And I'm sure they have couple issues. I mean, the only people who don't have couple, they're two couples. No, I was going to say Barack and Michelle Obama, but I think Michelle has admitted they too have issues. I think Amal and George Clooney have said they have absolutely no issues at all ever, which is interesting, right? And Trump said he doesn't have issues with Melania either. So those two couples are very interesting. But everybody else, they have issues. They have problems that they have to work through. Couples, lots of people get couples therapy and so on and so forth. And I don't think Meghan and Harry are any different. But except to the extent that both of them will be damned if they allow the UK media to win this, right? By breaking up. So I mean, come hell or fury, they are not going to get a divorce and they are not going to get a separation either, right? This is just what I think, and that's my opinion. I'm going to stick to it. Listen, you guys, I'm trying to make something for dinner. I don't know what it is. It's like this beet with sort of apples and passion fruit and herbe de Provence and walnuts. Those are not walnuts. Those are not walnuts. What are those? Whatever they are. And what else did I put into this? Onions, of course, like caramelized onions and lots of spices, white pepper, and it's just, and some boiled egg. And you know what, you guys? It's really, really, really delicious. Okay, it's really delicious. So let me go enjoy that. Don't worry about Harry and Meghan. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think about what I just said in this video. See you in the next one. If you're not subscribing, please subscribe. I do need you to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up and also hit the notification bell to know when I have new videos up. Okay? So that's it for this one. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.